Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Drama out of left field. There is a war feuding between past guests of Call Her Daddy podcast. Bachelor star Maria Georges unfollows Bachelorette Jen Tran. You hate to see this kind of chaos, but boy, is it great. It is great promotion for the show. I wouldn't be surprised if the show hired Maria to unfollow Jen. This gets better press than anything they can do. I don't think that's actually the case, but wouldn't be a bad idea. So what the hell went down on Call Her Daddy? Why Maria unfollowed Jen? Did she have a reason to? We'll get into all of that. What did Jen say? I'll share it with you. Hang tight. And if you want, this morning might be the most downloaded podcast of all time. We had so much drama on the podcast today. Not just this story in Clayton's, but there's going to be a Nick story. There's so much going on. So go to Rush Hour with Dave Neal if you want all of your entertainment news, including Olympics news. That's right. I even have the Olympic button. Let me see if I can find it over here. I got an Olympic button. I'm going to be sharing all of the updates here. That's it. That's right. Dave Neal, Olympian extraordinaire. No. So anyhow, you can go get all that. But all right, let's jump into it. So this was posted on the subreddit, The Bachelor, that Maria no longer follows Jen. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, what went down? And Game of Roses posted some positive clips, of course, from Jen, her interview with Call Her Daddy. She said, it's okay to have a voice. In fact, it's better to have a voice. And a voice she has, and it seems as though Maria might not enjoy what Jen had to say. Here's what Maria said, which may have led to what Jen said on the biggest female-driven podcast in the world, Call Her Daddy.
Were you offered the role as Bachelorette?
If I'm going to be in this world, I have to be honest, especially with the people who have supported me. And the answer is yes. Yeah, I was offered the role. It was mine until I said it wasn't, to the point where I was doing fittings. It was set in stone.
By the way, there have been past stories where contestants were doing fittings that ended up not getting the role. But I do understand she believes she was the Bachelorette. It's my opinion that she was the Bachelorette. It's also my opinion, due to the evidence that I have, I'm evidence-based over here, that the first Bachelorette was supposed to be Daisy. Look, Good Morning America even accidentally posted it. Why? Because journalism's dead, folks, and they probably had some intern line this up, and then the intern forgot to do it, whatever, and so they thought it was Daisy. It wasn't Daisy. It wasn't Maria. It was Jen. Now, if you're Jen, you might see all this and go, you know what? I'm the Bachelorette. I'm the captain now. And you might be upset about that, which is fine. But I also do believe that Jen was the third pick. Now, that might not be the case, but come on. Look, Good Morning America posted that it was Daisy. They had daisies on the dais, really, right? Daisies on the dais. That'd be a good podcast. They had, it's just a roast show. They had daisies in place of the roses on the set for the After the Final Rose. They were planning on making it Daisy. Now, so Maria says, hey, it was mine. This must have rubbed Jen the wrong way. We'll see what Jen has to say after we listen to the rest of Maria's comments.
Up Jen and all of this, she was one of my closest girls in the house, and she was always verbalizing how badly she wanted this. And when everyone around me was so supportive of me being in this position and everyone wanted this for me, I kind of took a second. I'm like, why am I not happy? Why am I not excited about this? And it took me realizing that it's just not my time, where I was like, guys, respectfully, I need to decline. I need to take a step back, because I know
this is almost like
extensive
This is almost like if you're at a party and the cool quarterback guy picks Maria, and Maria's like, I don't want to go into the kissing room with you. Here, take Jen. And then Jen kisses the quarterback and finds out that Maria was the first one. And then Jen's like, I'm doing just fine making out with these guys on my own. So I can understand why Jen would be a little like, I'm not your charity project. With that said, I believe, and you might say Dave's pimping for Maria, whatever. I believe it was Maria's intention to soften the blow to her audience why it wasn't going to be her. Because you have to remember, people were upset. We want Maria. We guys got to be Maria. I'm boycotting. I'm going to Love Island, whatever. And then Maria's like, no. I really wanted it, but it just wasn't my time. You're going to love Jen. I think that was the intention
process it was to be on the show, right? So having a bunch of guys do the exact same thing and they're there for me, I didn't want to waste anyone's time. Yeah, it was hard for me to kind of jump right back into it, honestly.
I think I can be honest. Like, you were about to come on the show and we were going to announce you as the Bachelorette.
There it is. So even Call Her Daddy, which has become the sort of de facto PR wing of The Bachelor, which obviously Call Her Daddy is a huge podcast. That's insane. That's like the Joe Rogan of, it's huge. So, they had it lined up that it was going to be Maria. And so they spilled the beans there.
Yeah.
What, like a month ago?
Yep.
And that, I remember I was going to have you on like a Monday. And on like Sunday, I get the call, like, Maria went back to Toronto.
Yeah.
What were those, like, next few days like once you turned it down?
When I say that I just wanted to come back home, back to reality and just take time off from all of this, like, I meant it. And I think people saw that and recognized that I wasn't posting as much and, like, I was not speaking on things because as much as, like, I wanted my time off, but I also wanted Jen to have her moment. She is the most perfect bachelorette in my eyes. If like I couldn't think of anyone better to do this, and she was so ready for it, and that was enough for me to kind of say, it's not my time.
Why did you turn it down?
What people saw on their screens was only the half of what I kind of went through in the house. Like, yes, did I have time off before it aired? Yes, but again, everything was so like
She was anxious. She was re-traumatized. We get all of that, right? Well, here's what Jen had to say in her Call Her Daddy interview, addressing the rumors of being the third choice. And again, I know this can anger some people to talk about it, but I'm being honest with my general assessment, which is that it was supposed to be Daisy. Daisy turned it down. It was supposed to be Maria. Now, I guess you could say, well, all three of them were pursued at the same energy level as the next Bachelorette. Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Sure. But why was this one leaked to Good Morning America? Because it was supposed to be Daisy. And then why was Maria scheduled to go on? And now, look, Maria being scheduled to go on, she's excuse me, Call Her Daddy. I was gonna say She's All Batch. She's All Batch is our version of Call Her Daddy. We love the ladies at She's All Batch. Batch Gang. This wasn't a PR stunt to like book Maria, then cancel her. They wouldn't burn the bridges with the biggest podcast out there. It was Maria. And at one point it was Daisy. And then finally it was Jen. I guess we shouldn't look at it as third place, but I mean, that's what it was to them, not to me, to them. Here's what she had to say in response.
I had Maria on and she was really open about like, they had offered me the role. It wasn't right for me. Like, can you tell me from your experience, like seeing all of the conversation around like Maria or Daisy, like how did you like feel about everything?
Yeah. So obviously I didn't have my phone at the time. All of this was like going down because we had went right into filming, after it was all announced and coming back to all of that. Yeah, obviously I was really disappointed to see all of that because, I mean, the truth of the matter is...
My question would be, disappointed in Maria and or Daisy or in the audience? So let's hear what the truth of the matter is.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, like, there's a lot of narratives out there, and they're not necessarily the truth.
There it is, folks. That's what I've been saying all along. The truth of the matter is, there are a lot of narratives out there, and that's the truth. And that's all there is to it, folks. Listen, Jen's going to be a fantastic bachelorette. We're having gentle ribbing. We're having fun. This is what we do to the upcoming leads, right? We have fun. I'm looking forward to Jen. But if I could sit down Jen and Maria in the same room, I'd say, Jen, I think Maria was trying to give you some compliments. Maria, I understand that why Jen could be annoyed because you're making it seem like she was the desperation pick.
The show has been going on for years and years, 21 years of this show specifically. And every season there are multiple people in contention for the role.
True.
Multiple people are being interviewed or doing meetings about it all, doing fittings or filming intro packages. And it's never really you until it's you.
Interesting.
So that's why I was a little disappointed is because, the narratives out there aren't exactly the truth. And I think that, when you look at it all, like the show has been going on for so long and, look, based on the history of it all, like there's always multiple people. So it's not you until it's you.
Okay, so it wasn't like a last minute thing people are asking you.
No. We had meetings about it. We talked about it for months, and then they asked me and I had the choice and I chose to do it. I said yes.
There it is. She had the choice. She said yes. So I understand how annoying that would be. I understand it would be so annoying I mean, I would be the same way. It's like I remember in high school, there was 2 baseball games coming up, a division game and a non-division game. The non-division game didn't matter in the standings, and the division game mattered. And the coach put the other pitcher in for the division game and put me in for the non-division game. And I was like, what am I, like, chop liver to you? You got to have a big ego out there, right? You got to be a big dog out there. You got to want the ball. Jen's got that ego. Maria's got that ego. This happened in the past. You want to be the one in charge. So it's interesting because we've seen past seasons where you have somebody who might not have been the star of the show, Katie Thurston on Matt James' season. And then all of a sudden she becomes the Bachelorette. And it's like, now I'm the star of the show. So where are all those haters at? You start to get some of that lead energy. They call it main character energy. That's what you want in a show. That's what Jen now has. She might not have had it when she was a contestant, but now she's like, I'm the girl. I got the chair with my name on it. I got the trailer. I have the assistant. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's what you need to run the show. I'm happy to see that Jen's got it, and I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. As far as what Maria said, nothing really. She posted a photo with former contestant Greer, and then they did some sort of something here where she says this.
I never left the house.
They did a TikTok where
I'm worried what every bitch in New York was saying about me. I never left the house.
So the audio says, if I worried what every bitch had to say about me in New York, I'd never leave the house. So there it is. Now, as far as the unfollowing goes, I personally think that draws too many negative, too much attention to a situation. Like, you can just mute somebody. I was unfollowed recently, so I've been told, and it's like, okay, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I've never been in a fight with someone where I've used the unfollow button as a point. You know what I mean? Hey, honey, check your Instagram. Did you unfollow me? Yeah, that's right, I did. No, I mean, come on. I'm 39. What are we doing? Sure. I don't know if age has anything to do with it or whatnot, but not happening. Now, you could say Maria was like, well, she just didn't want to follow all of her updates. Sure, absolutely. You can mute her, but you do learn that there is sort of a PR element to it. But it's fascinating because Maria's got a pretty high up sort of mark in the Bachelor world. Go to some of the comments from her. Someone said, Jen handled the situation fine. There was nothing wrong with her saying she was also on the list and in talks all along as a potential lead. Yeah, I agree that Jen handled it fine. She didn't show much anger. She just said she was disappointed. Weird, Maria's commented this on the clip yesterday. So Maria commented, let's go, on the Call Her Daddy clip. This is interesting stuff. I'm pulling this up right now. So Maria commented, let's go. And then I guess afterwards found out, well, we went and I didn't like it. So people are calling it petty. Reality Steve spoke about the podcast and Jen basically denying Maria's claims and said something along the lines of, one day maybe there will be a reality show on what happened on Joey's season, because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people are just afraid to talk about publicly. I haven't heard any of that. But if I do hear it, I'll let you know. I'm live all day long on Patreon. If you want to be a part of the live chat, we'll be live for the next 4 hours. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. Fun community. Go hang out with us. I think Monday is going to be my Patreon appreciation day. And that day, we're just going to have private membership live streams all day long. So make sure you're ready for that. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Got a lot of content on the way. We'll see you then.